Hey, Inspire Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Live Inspired live stream here on the Inspire channel. It's the most transformational year in modern human history, at least, and we're excited to have you here. There's quite a lot to talk about today, good things, important things, and things that very well might change your life completely. As always, Tribe, these are the concepts that we talk about, the things that we share. These are always things that we point to something, and then when you have the experience, it becomes such a transformational thing for you guys. So this is a big one today, and this is going to cover everything from the experience that you're having on the outside to the experience you have on the inside too. That's what we're going to talk about today, and that's something that and we're going to talk about who they are, don't want you to know. I can tell you this for certain. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Emma. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button as you tune in. Now, I want to invite you, before we dive into today's topic, to join me for a quick 45-second, maybe a minute. Let's see how it goes today. 45-second, kind of a real intense breath, okay? And why we do that is to shift. When we breathe, we shift into the body experience and shift into the spiritual heart experience. That's the natural way of things. So we want to do that, and there's a particular reason why we do this at almost every live stream at the beginning. Because when we comprehend information just with our brain, it's fairly disconnected. When we move into our spiritual heart, we comprehend information and we're connected to the eternal source. So let's do that, guys. I'm a timer. Join me with that breath, and then we're going to dive into today's topic, okay? So what I want you to do, I want you to raise your hands, close your eyes, become fully present, let go of the keyboard, let go of your phone, let go of the screen with your eyes, just close your eyes and breathe with me for a minute. And we're going to slowly intensify the breath and get faster and faster, okay? Breathe as deeply as you can. And let's do this. Inspired Tribe. Woo! Thank you for joining me. Whoa, this is intense, very intense. If you drink for the breath, then you can feel it. You can feel it going all the way through your body. You can feel your blood rushing. You can feel your brain being activated and everything. Maybe you can even feel a little bit of sweat. That's how fast it goes. It's 1 minute. That was 1 minute of intense breathing. Can change literally everything within a minute. So Tribe, you're so welcome. Gina, Illy, thanks for joining us. Margaret, Agnieszka, Emma, Brenda, and everyone who's here, thanks for joining us. As always, we encourage you to do this breath work multiple times a day to shift quickly. And now we're shifting into today's topic of they don't want you to know. And what does that even mean? They don't want you to know. This is a bigger picture thing, but as always, it comes from observation. These topics come up so strongly, then we go for walks, allow for source to speak to us, give us guidance, for God to give us guidance, and we come and share this with you. But we want to talk about something that is the most important thing in your life that literally changes everything once you not just understand it here, but once you feel it here. And it can shift your experience so quickly. So I want to start with how we comprehend, how we receive information these days, and what, how all of this is happening. We are looking at screens most of the time now, a screen that's either your phone screen or your TV screen or your computer screen. And what we believe is that even now, as you are listening to me here, that what's happening on your screen is the information, right? But it really truly isn't. It's just the projection, right? It's a projection of information that's happening on your screen. It is how all the bits and pieces translated so you can see the image, so you can hear the voice. But it's not really the information. You're just getting the projection of the information. And this has become clearer than ever over the course of this year in 2020, that what you're seeing on your screens is just a projection of information. It's a projection. What does it mean to project something? It doesn't mean that it is truth. It doesn't mean that it is authentic. It is happening on a screen, and it doesn't necessarily, or often, it doesn't reflect your reality or reality as we experience it all. But what is happening now is something that is unprecedented in modern human history. The way we can record it is that we are beginning to understand that on a deeper level. And what do I mean by that? If what you see on your screens would be reality, and when it is reality, you can change it, you can alter it because you're the creator of your own reality, then all you would have to do is go on a website and start moving around the bits and pieces on that website with your finger, and it would change. But it doesn't work that way. And why doesn't it work that way? What do we have to access to alter what we see on our screens? If you have a website, if you've ever programmed a website, you know there's something called source code. What is source code? Now, the word source code already gives us an idea that it's just an imitation of how the broader universe works. We even call it source code. So we have to go into the source code and what is behind the projection, what is within deeper, and change it there, right? That's how we access the field of creation, and that's where things are really shifted. But what has happened is, especially since the invention of screens, of TV, of this projection, we have been programmed to believe that what we see on our screens is the reality, and more than that, we have believed if someone that's in our screens or on our screens shifts things around, changes numbers, changes colors, changes letters, that actually changes reality. But it doesn't. It is just a projection on a screen. And this is a metaphor for our lives. We are so hell-bent on moving around with our physical reality, when our physical reality is just the screen that projects what is really in the field. It just projects it into something that we can feel and see with our senses. It isn't the reality itself. It is just a projection. The reality itself is in the field of infinite possibilities. And this is where the greatest of all secret comes in. And listen, the small group of esoterics, and esoterics I call them because if you are an esoteric and if you are into esoterics, this only means that this is wisdom and knowledge that has been kept from the broader public. This group of very few people knows the truth, the authentic truth of things and the nature of our universe and how it operates. Haven't been giving this out to all of the on purpose. That's why they call that's the nature of esoterics. So, and that's we've been on that topic in the last live stream. But what has happened is this broader wisdom and knowledge is beginning to enter into the broad public, but it's still only scratching the surface, because the equivalent of source code on a website, on a video platform, in the universe is the field of infinite possibilities. However, what is the mechanism that we use to alter and change that reality? Yes, we understand it's thought. Yes, we understand it's what we think and feel about, but it goes deeper than that. It's just scratching the surface. What is really shaping the ideas, what is really shaping the 3D projection reality are elementals. Elementals are way stronger than just thoughts. They're way stronger than just thoughts and feelings. Those are the strongest possible images that we create when we have full capacity and full control over our minds and our thinking, and when we can accelerate our thoughts to the velocity or close to the velocity of how the creator thinks. The creator thinks extremely, extremely fast. It can be put in numbers how fast the creator or source thinks and creates. And the faster our thoughts become, and I'm not talking about racing anxiety thoughts, I'm talking about real elemental thought thinking. And we want to explain the concept of elementals. What the concept of elementals really means is to create such strong images that are filled up with feeling, that are filled up with true meaning, that these real visuals then that are happening in our mind combined with the creator's mind are then impressed onto the physical reality, which is the equivalent of the screen that you're seeing. That is how the programs on this planet are really created. It's everything else, the marketing, the TV, radio, internet, education systems, everything else that perpetuates ideas comes later. First, there is a group or sometimes even one single person on this planet that has been given the true wisdom and knowledge about elementals that then creates these new ideas or creates these programs that are then being spread out around the planet. And the beautiful thing about this is that whoever that master is, whoever that high priest or whatever you want to call that person is, they don't even have to tell anyone about it. They influence the whole nature of our reality because they're the fastest, strongest, most visual thinkers that you could possibly think of. We have been studying this for many years now and experimenting and accelerating and working on it, and sometimes with astonishing results. Sometimes when we are resistant free on a topic and we are just in creative mode, we can shape our reality in a very decisive and fast manner. And how do we differentiate between the projected reality and the source code reality? This is super important. What you can do, if you understand anything about programming and about websites, is you can have a very blank, bleak canvas, a very blank, bleak website that doesn't look like much, but you can have all kinds of information in the source code that is hidden behind very basic interface. And so what is happening in our experience right now on the outside is that we are being bombarded with a projected reality that doesn't really feel authentic to us anymore. Why? Why did generations before us not question on the broad scale that we're questioning now? Why did they never really dive as deep as we're diving right now? Why are there now millions, hundreds of millions of people, even billions potentially across the planet who are not buying what is on their TV screens anymore, who are not buying what's on their YouTube screens or video screens or whatever anymore? Because for the first time in a long, long time in human history, more and more people have the ability and develop the ability to access the source code. When you can see what's behind the screen, when you can see it for what it is, you do not believe what's on the screen anymore, no matter how flashy, no matter how bright, no matter how loud it is, because you, the powerful you, the eternal you, has now accessed source code. It's when you step into direct communication with the field which God creates, the field from which everything is created. on the 3D vision. You are not believing what you're seeing with your physical eyes because you know there's a much broader spectrum of reality. This is what's happening, folks. This is what is happening. So many people are beginning to access source code. They're beginning to access this field of infinite possibilities. And that's why they can differentiate. Does this feel authentic or not? And this is the greatest of all secrets. People think that secret, secret groups, conspiracies, secret societies, all of that, they believe that's the greatest secret. No, because these people, whoever they may be, whatever their intentions are, they're just following a program. The truth is that they have only as much control as we give them, no matter who they are, no matter what they want, whether they want to sell you something or whether they want to change the course of your life or whether they want to go get into your belief system. But when we begin understanding who we really are in our nature and accessing that source code and really developing our ability to think authentically, the real way of thinking, creative thought, then all of a sudden, there's nothing and no one that can have control over us because we feel authenticity, we feel truth, rather than rely on potentially completely bogus facts. This is so important because now we have facts and we have fact checkers and we have false fact checkers and we have literally alternative realities that are being played out now. More than ever, if I could give you maybe 10 TV stations and 10 YouTube channels and whatnot, and you would compare what they're saying and what they're projecting, it is completely alternative realities that each and every one of them is presenting. But it isn't really working anymore because people have started accessing the source code and they start to see for themselves. Seeing is the first step. When you feel authentic truth for the first time, nothing can push and nothing can change your absolute trust in that. But it's just the first step. Understanding that is just the first step. Then moving into creative thought, moving to the real ability to think and create. And there's so much that comes into play with that. What you put into your body, how you eat, how you drink, what you watch, what you consume. The purer your thoughts become, the faster they become, the faster they create, the more powerful the elementals that you create become. And this is how you create your future, really. It's not just when it's small things that keep happening. It's when you see that what you have envisioned in concert with the creator is really being realized in your reality. It's really happening. It's really happening completely. You have seen the whole movie and then the movie plays out in the projected 3D reality. This is the real way. And this is what these super, super tiny small groups of people have known for thousands of years and have used and are still using, because they were so sure that that knowledge would never make it into the broad public, that the public would believe that they get up in the morning, they do something with their hands, and they are somehow productive, which there's nothing bad about that. It's all part of it. But they believe they're powerless. They believe they're completely powerless and are basically at the mercy of their human rulers and of a personified God that is somewhere and that's based on mood or based on whatever, pushing buttons around. But it just doesn't work like that. Yes, there is a source. Yes, there is God, the universe. And yes, it is all powerful, but not in the way that we have been taught. You are a co-creator with that highest form. And now we are accessing a completely different way of thinking here. We're accessing a completely different realm here. That's why we're now seeing multiple versions of history that are being created right now. Literally, it's not like it used to be. It used to be where, there would be a conflict or something, and then the winners would write the history, And basically after a generation or two, no one would question it anymore because no one was there to question it. What's happening now is we're literally writing different versions of our current reality, and eventually we're going to pick one that we're going to stick with and that we're going to move on with. Now the question is it going to be an authentic one, or is it going to be a fabricated one? Is it going to be more projection on the screen? And there's only one answer that can change this. Which one's going to be or one question rather is, how much do you love life, real authentic life? How much do you desire to be a real authentic creator? How much do you desire to go into the source code and create from there, rather than trying to manipulate reality, 3D reality all the time? Manipulating reality is tiring. It is a thankless job, because the second that you stop, everything stops. The second that you stop manipulating 3D reality, nothing happens anymore. There is no flow, there's no momentum, there's no energy, because you're just moving bits and pieces on the screen. When you access source, when you start thinking from that place, you become the real creator, and it has to be authentic, because in that field, there's only authenticity. It's only the real thing. So now it's for us to decide if we are going to move into the lane of authenticity as humans, as individuals in our own lives, because that's the first step. That's the step we have 100% control over. Are we going to live an authentic life? Are we going to create from authentic desire? Are we going to be led by ego, led by 3D projections, led by lies, led by half-truths, led by whatever? Or are we going to awaken the creator within and create from the field and see things for what they are, not to judge them, but to understand is when I can see something for what it is, I can realize, do I desire that, or do I desire something else? Boom, that's a quick decision, moving into the authentic real lane. And this is what's going to determine the course of tomorrow, of today, of next year, of the next 10 years, of the next 100, 1,000 years. Are we going to move with authenticity? Are we going to actually bring this to the forefront and make this the most important thing? Are we going to return to the vibration of natural frequency? That's how you can absolutely access the field. Everything that you see in nature is vibrating at the frequency of the universe, of original creation. That's what we need to harmonize our hearts to. Because when we come from that, when we create from that, it is authentic and in sync with the creator. And that's the greatest secret. The greatest secret isn't the holy grail that leads to the treasure cave. It isn't that group XYZ controls this. It isn't that the Federal Reserve isn't federal. It isn't all of that. Those are all just products of this great secret. And that once you awaken to your true power, once you really begin to remember who you really are, and once this happens on a broader scale, as we're seeing it now, the secret is out. A mind that is awakened to its divinity can never be controlled anymore. A mind that is awakened to its divinity can never be controlled anymore. And once a mind is set free and not controlled, nothing can limit its potential anymore. Nothing can limit what is possible for humanity anymore. Nothing can limit how good it can get. It is only that. There's not a war on here for our bodies, really. That's not a war for land, not a war for resources. It's not a war for money. It's a war for your mind. That's the last piece. And when we shift, everything else shifts as well. When we shift our minds, when we begin to be who we really are, it's game over for anything and anyone who desires to take control over you or humanity at large. Game over. It's the power of your mind and you being in full control of it. That's it. That's the greatest secret. the power of your elementals. Study this. The broadest understanding of this concept are the Anastasia books, the ringing cedars. And we have a link in the description. Please know, we're only sharing this. There's nothing in it for us. We didn't write the books. We're not associated with the author in no way. These are the most powerful books we've ever read. This will give you the grandest understanding of the nature of reality and how you can begin to become the conscious creator of your reality, and understanding the magnitude of this concept. The Ringing Cedars, link is in the description, guys. Everyone, I encourage you to start reading. It's 10 books. I think the 11th book will be released soon. The most powerful books we've ever read, the most powerful concept, completely changed our lives, completely, like 180. And just we encourage you to read them and explore, and also know we are just scratching the surface here. We're about to see the greatest expansion of potential that's ever been seen, but it is up to us to take charge. It is up to us to step into our true power. And there's a couple of things that will facilitate this development for us individually and for humanity at large. The basis of all of this is freedom. So it is our sacred, beautiful, wonderful duty to do everything we possibly can vibrationally, and then translate it in physical reality, to facilitate as much freedom for humans all around us in our communities as possible. The concept of freedom is the basis of it all. That's why freedom is that's so important for these groups that are hanging on to power to take away your freedom, because when you're not free, you can't do that. You can't access that. You can't do those things. So freedom is the basis of it all. That's why Abraham says freedom is the basis of your life. Freedom. So freedom, then becoming aware and conscious of your divinity and connecting to source is the second thing. That happens through meditation or prayer, whatever you want to call it, to go into an altered state of mind that where you access deeper spheres, where you can actually access the field. In connection to that is breath work. Breath is life. Breathe to thrive, not to survive. Meditation and breath work will facilitate this connection and this ability in grand ways. And then it's joy and excitement. These are the accelerators. When you become joyful, when you become excited about something, you accelerate your creations, and there is no limit to how fast they can come about. And you might have heard these things before. We have said these things before, and you will hear them again. But listen, this is the package. This is the great secret. There's nothing beyond this. There isn't a greater secret that somehow someone will give you 7 chemicals that will allow you to be an alchemist. This is how you become an alchemist. This is how you become a creator of your own reality. This is what our practice should be every single day. Freedom, meditation and prayer, breath work, connect, create, become conscious, and refuse the temptation to believe in a projected reality that is being thrown in front of you, that's being, that's very flashy and very loud and everywhere, because only a lie needs to be repeated over and over and over and over and over and over again. The truth, once you hear it, you resonate with it, it starts becoming your nature again. You remember it. It's so easy. Lies need to be repeated over and over and over again because they have no authentic vibration. And that is the key to it all. You can start this now, and you can practice this all of your life. So it will only get better and better and better. But that's the secret, guys. That's the secret. So don't panic. Don't believe that whatever is being put on those screens reflects reality, reflects truth necessarily. And most of all, don't believe that there's anything that has external power over you. In the depths of all depths, you are always in full control of your experience. Even when your physical body is somehow limited, you're still in full control of your experience. But let us affirm, let us claim freedom, let us let us lovingly create it vibrationally. Let us create it from our minds with our ability to create elementals, and let us do it in our physical reality as well. Let us make freedom the most important thing of all. I want you all to be free. I want everyone to have the full experience of freedom. This is the greatest gift that we can give each other and that we can give to the planet. Freedom, love, authenticity, inspiration, guys.
Amen.
Yeah, you thought she isn't here, but she's here, guys. So
Preach, my honey, preach.
you, those were my 5 cents for the day. A very powerful transmission. I know this is, you know, this is coming through me. You know how this works. Co-creating with the creator. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you so much for being always on this journey with us. I'm going to scroll through the comments here, see what you guys say. But I also wanted to thank you guys. So many of you have clicked on that link for the Inspired Freedom Launcher and I hopefully have done the process. I've seen hundreds of views, so I'm excited you've done the process. We'd love to hear how it's been for you and what has changed, or if you felt any changes. Also invite you guys to maybe join the Inspired membership calls that's happening every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Very powerful calls that are just accelerating this creative process, inspired process. So send us an email to 365inspiredliving@gmail.com or visit our website, inspiredchannel.net. Check out the courses, check out the merch, and all the good stuff. And here's the thing too. Every little piece that you find out there that we have created, it was created from inspiration. Kristin and I are literally our own best sheriffs when it comes to that. We are policing each other almost. As soon as we get into this mode of work, we need to get this done and that done, and we police each other lovingly and say, listen, are you inspired right now? Do you feel that you're connected? Do you feel you're creating from a higher space? And we immediately allow ourselves to shift. The beautiful thing is, when you're inspired, you can go for 18, 20 hours straight. You can be lovingly productive, and it's so much fun. When you're uninspired, 2 hours can sometimes, nearly kill you. So this is the whole idea, inspiration of everything. If you see a piece of clothing that Kristin has created, or if you join a course, or if you join a call, it's all about inspiration. It's all about inspiration. That's our, that's what we're about. So guys, let me see what you're saying. Angie says, a mind that is awakened to its divinity can no longer be controlled. Yes, thank you for affirming that here. Thank you so much.
What's the book's name? I already...
Rose. So you guys, please join me in wishing Rose a most wonderful and happy birthday. May it be a new year in your life full of blessings, a new year full of expansion, adventures, love, abundance, joy, and may you, expand as a creator in this. So happy birthday, Rose. Yeah, so Kristin shared the title, and the books are the link to the books is down in the description of this video. It's books. Wonderful. So yeah, and inspired, what you can do is there are live streams and there are live streams, and I realize that not every day is the same. This one, I encourage you, put it somewhere in a safe folder, come back to it. This transmission has been powerful. I felt it coming through all day. I was looking forward to it. I felt the spirit, and go back and re-listen, not because I'm so important, but because the message is so important. If you don't want to look at me, just look away, just listen. I'm guided to do these things. We're guided. It's all about that. This is not a playing field for egos. It doesn't matter to us at all. Our dream, our very human dream, is to be out, very far out in nature, sit at a stream and, tend to our garden and our animals. But we were literally called to stay within society. We were literally called, guided to stay closer to humanity, to society, and spread the message of inspiration, love. This is the pure guidance It's nothing we really sat down and desired to create. It almost created itself through us. So yeah, come back, put this in a safe folder, and listen to this when you need to be reminded, because again, the messages are everywhere. Messaging is everywhere, and so sometimes we need to remind our minds that just because we're being bombarded with something, it doesn't make it true or authentic. But this is authenticity, guys. I believe in you with everything that I have. I believe in the true power of being human, of the power of feelings and emotions, the power of unlimited possibility. I believe in you full-heartedly. I believe in you more than I believe in any machine and any artificial creation. I believe you are the shit. Pardon my French. I do believe you are. And that shall conclude today's live stream. And if you want to ever, we're going to release a really cool EUCY session that we had the other day. But if you ever want to do a one-on-one EUCY call, I think there's someone I'm guided to say this to right now, because it came randomly. So someone here in this audience is either desiring or had the hunch to do a one-on-one EUCY call. Please send an email to living.email.com, book a one-on-one session if you have that hunch, and we'll take it from there. Inspired Tribe, thank you. We love you. And it was wonderful to spend this time with you. We'll see you again